What's up, everybody? Michaela and Brittany here, back with another episode of We Got Something to Say. And today we're going to be talking about trash relationships.
Yep. Trash relationships.
For sure.
We've all had them.
Yes.
Many of them. And not just, romantic relationships. We're deep diving into friendships.
All relationships.
Well. We will not. We will refrain from saying names.
Yeah.
We ain't putting nobody on blast today.
Respect.
But if you feel this is you, it just may be. No, I'm kidding.
Respectfully. Respectfully.
No, look, nobody that's in our life now. So y'all
of
are
course
good.
not. No.
This is for people in the past.
I know, right? We need to put a PSA.
Disclaimer.
None of this is about any of the current people in our lives. Because they're going to come for our necks once they listen to this.
See it. Oh my gosh.
I got a few. They were like, what?
Yeah.
You talking about me? No, we're not talking about you.
All right.
But yes, I don't know. This topic, we were just like going through all of them. And I was like, ooh, yeah.
This is the one.
That's it right there. Like it didn't even take long for us to like sit down and kind of brainstorm what we wanted to talk about.
Mm-hmm.
I said, oh,
that's a good one.
I got a lot to say about that one.
All right. So you want to start off with friendships or relationships?
Yeah, I would say friendships. Obviously, feel like I've had more friendships than actual lover relationships. So yeah, we can talk about friendships.
First,
let's see how far we want to go back.
What do you consider a trash relationship, first of all, before we start dropping dimes?
I would say people who really don't take you into consideration. Like, I think obviously when you're in that relationship or friendship, you don't see it.
Yeah.
It's kind of like after the fact.
Mm-hmm.
So I think looking back on all of them, you realize, dang, they didn't take you into consideration like at all. Mm-hmm. Self-centered, self-absorbed people.
Narcissists.
For sure. Liars.
Very much so. People who say one thing, but the agenda that they truly have is something totally different.
Yeah. Or just like not being genuine or intentional.
Yes.
Like, wow. And it's like I say, you don't realize it until it's over with.
Mm-hmm. Even the stalkers.
Yeah.
We gonna get into that.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So I guess just realizing that when you step outside of that relationship or outside of that friendship. Yeah. Okay. And then I guess there's another part too, to like kind of being blinded to that, which that's a whole different thing, but you really don't realize it's trash when you're in the middle of it, Yeah.
People who are fake.
Yeah.
I can't stand a fake person.
Yeah.
If you're going to be in my life, be 100% with me.
Yeah. And be genuine.
And most of the time, you can spot someone who's being fake.
True. Well, I also think as you get older, you can. Because being young, you're not, you're thinking about it, but you're not. You're just trying to have fun. Yeah, you want to be liked. And you want to have fun. And it's like you just go with everything.
Yeah.
The
naivety.
Yeah. What is that a word?
Yeah, naivety.
Wow. I've never heard anyone say it like that. I heard naive. Huh. Interesting. So yeah, that. Say it again.
Naivety.
That's a word?
Yes.
Wow.
Oh my God. You're being naive.
I guess. I've never heard it like that. But yeah, being naive in those relationships. So
what's the first one you want to talk about? I got mine.
Okay, so I guess a friendship. I was very close with her. Mm-hmm. It really wasn't the beginning of the friendship. I can be honest.
Yeah.
And say it wasn't the entire friendship. Mm-hmm. I would have to say toward the end of the friendship, it started to be trash. Because she got into a relationship. Mm-hmm. And that's even touchy anyway, because obviously things do change in your friendship. Mm-hmm. Where you're super close and that person gets into a relationship or you get into a relationship is then kind of like the juggle and the balance. But we were super young, meaning like high school-ish, a little bit after high school. So it wasn't until she got with someone, and first of all, he was a jerk. So I'm not talking about like a good guy, a guy that treated her right, a guy that was respectful and respectable. No, I'm talking about somebody that was just trash.
Now, did you have the position in her life to tell her that he was trash?
For sure.
Okay.
And, you know, like when you deal with them coming to you crying about it, you know, it's not just like, oh, I don't like him because you're with him. No. It's like blatant, open. Like, and at the time, you know, we still had social media back, you know, I'm not that old, but
MySpace.
Yeah, that Twitter, like I'm talking about openly bashing her. Like,
oh yeah, no.
Right? So I'm talking about for months, years, right? So what ended up being a trash friendship, I mean, it was little stuff, right? Like, hey, let's hang out, or girl, come with me to Walmart driving or something. You know, like multiple times. Oh, well, I'm tired. Oh, I don't feel like it. Oh. And I guess I just like let it go a lot until I saw a pattern. And then it would be like, oh, well, he told me to get dressed. He was coming to get me. We're just going to the store. Hop up.
Yeah.
Multiple times. Oh, he said this, so I got to do this. Right? And we're young. We're kids. Right? I'm like, dang, like someone I, you know, consistently spend time with, like, this is my friend.
You consider them close.
Yeah. Now I'm like, you don't want to do nothing. You're always tired. No, he's always there. You know, I'm dealing with things. Can't really come to you because you're not attentive, right?
Yeah.
Or you're overly consumed. But I'm only, like, the time is only made available because, oh, he put this on social media about me. Oh, he cheated on me. Oh, this girl hit.
So he cheated.
Girl.
And she still was acting like that. Yeah, no.
I'm talking about repeatedly. Right? Would you say that word was?
Naive. She was naive.
Well, I'm saying me too, though. Because how do you continue to deal with that?
Yeah. Be there for that person.
Yes.
When they're going through, but
yes,
when you need them.
And I'm not talking about 1 year, 2 year, 3 year, 4 or 5 year friendship. I'm talking about like 10 years of friendship. Like I didn't deal with it the whole 10 years, but I'm talking about like the longevity of that friendship should not have ended the way that it did.
Yeah.
But I mean, all in all, yes, putting him above a friendship that was true, right? Like me actually being there and being consistent. I'm talking about, and I'm not, again, we're not saying names, but I'm talking about having a baby on her. Like that kind of stuff.
He cheated and had a baby?
They were on the break, whatever you want to call it, but still back and forth. But still yet calling me, crying to me, and guess what I'm doing? I'm being there. And I'm like, yo, that's crazy.
Yeah.
To the point where, so like fast forward, okay, like all that stuff was happening, but then I get, drug into it. He talking about me. You need to stop being friends with her. Like, I mean, obviously that's a bunch of toxic stuff happening, but like it started to really be trash because I'm like, bro, that's so crazy.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying you can't forgive people because you can,
yeah.
But I'm talking about just taking it. And they're
not even married.
Oh, like, nah, we're young.
Marriage
we're
is a different thing. Like when it comes to like stepping out on somebody cheating, some people are willing to make it work and stay if it's a marriage. But for us,
I'm talking about 16, 17
relationship
years old, 15, 16, 17 years old. I'm not talking about like no young adult or adult. I'm talking about teenagers, right?
And then if you cheating while y'all dating,
yeah,
what you think? I'm about to marry you?
Yeah. So,
no, absolutely
being in
not.
a friendship and just consistently being in the friendship. I mean,
getting the short end of the stick.
One will call me dumb too for staying, but I guess like when you have invested so much and you're just like, well, it's not going to be like this all the time, right? Man,
Well, do you feel like
it truly end up being like that until I just cut ties, because I'm like, you clearly don't care about me.
Do you feel like the good times outweighed the bad overall? Or were
yes.
there? Okay.
Yeah. Because being young, okay, so I knew her since elementary school, but we were not like best friends until like the end of middle into high school. So yeah, I mean, obviously the good definitely outweighed the bad, and I think that's what made me sad, because I'm like, again, if this was a healthy relationship, because at the end of the day, even when you get married, like, yeah, obviously your husband will come before your friends and all that stuff, but I'm talking about even if we were young and we were leading up to that, even in that position, I would not have a lot to say if he was respectful in that moment, in that time frame, if he treated her well and not treated her like a dog and like dirt, right? What could I say? But watching that, being a part of that, and then me getting the short end of the stick as the friend, it was just really sad.
Yeah, you deserve more.
Yeah,
for sure.
I don't know, and I just really could not believe it. Like, to this day, I can't believe I let it go. But I'm just like, that's crazy.
But you know what? Love, lust, whatever you want to call it, love, lust, it will have people doing crazy,
and I think
crazy things.
I will say that had a lot to do with it, because sex changes everything, right?
That girl was so tired.
That was her first and her only that I know of, but
yeah.
And I think that's what switched in our friendship. Yeah. The moment she had sex with him. Yeah. I mean, I get it. I've never done that to someone, but I'm just saying, like, I get how that could shift everything. But again, if he was kind, if he was respectful, like, hey, what can anybody say? Like, you sprung? Okay, you sprung over somebody that's treating you like a queen. You know? You still have to have balance and stuff like that, and not forsake everybody else because of, that. But I'm talking about consistently sleeping with him, but getting treated like crap, and then coming to me, and I wipe the tears, and I bear you up, and I do all of that. Still saying the ball is in your court, because me tell you to leave him. Okay, have I? Yeah, but at the end of the day, it's your choice. Family members saying, you need to leave that boy alone, because again, we were young. But if you don't want to listen to that, because that's all you know, what can you do? So that, I think, that was one that really hurt me the most, I think, friendship wise, to realize like all of that ended up just going in the garbage. I'm talking about never physically sitting down and reconciling, having a conversation of the hurt and the pain.
To this day.
Till this day. Till this day. Have I seen that person? Last time I saw that person was in 2017 when my mother died.
She came to the funeral?
She came to the viewing.
Okay.
And was there. Because like I said, how do you have that many years and it's just, crazy. Yeah. But,
jeez.
That's just one.
All right, so I'll give you a break and I'll do mine. So, a trash relationship / friendship that I remember vividly was also 2017 when it ended. So I had a friend that I had been getting close to, her and her family. She was married with kids. And we had gotten really close, we were in church together and like literally built a relationship. Like she was almost like a mentor for me because she was older than me, but still like it was almost like a sisterhood, almost like we were trying to build that. And I ended up committing a sin in my past church that I got, a sexual sin that I got kicked out of the church for, got kicked out. Got kicked.
Why do you play so much? That was at a cult. Call it what it is.
My bad. I got kicked out of the church for. And so that particular church believed in disciplining people when they sinned or at least committed sexual sin. They would kick you out for 6 months as a time of reflection, give you right over to the devil, and then after 6 months you could come back.
Where is that in the Bible?
I don't even want to get into it. That's a whole nother story for another day. That's going to be in our Church Hurt podcast. Look forward to that one.
Yeah.
But a part of the time of reflection, we had to leave the church. We could not go to other churches. We could not fellowship with more than 2 people. We could not go to birthday parties. We could not go to baby showers. We could not go to any kind of gathering unless it was to pray, worship, and read with the 2 people that we picked. 2 of our friends closest to us still was required to pay tithes. And it just sounds foolish when I'm saying funny. It sounds crazy, right?
It's just because you said cult and then you go down the list. Yeah, that's a cult.
Well, if you're in ministry, when you can't watch TV, as if you don't have the Holy Spirit, change the channel when you're watching something bad. But anyway, yeah, we weren't allowed to have TVs, weren't allowed to go to movies. We weren't allowed to do anything like robots. But anyways, that's a different episode. Sorry, I'm rambling.
She went left. Talking about.
I just started thinking of all these things we weren't allowed to do as if we don't have the Holy Spirit.
Yeah, save it for the next one.
So, ended up getting kicked out of church. And I was on my discipline or whatever. And this person literally called me. Somebody I had spent the last couple of years getting close to. We go over to their house, her and her husband's house, stay there late, fellowshipping, getting to know one another, establishing a relationship with these people, only for me to get kicked out of church and for her to call me and tell me that if I don't come back to the church, we are no longer friends.
Wow.
And I think actually she said that because I committed this sin, that we weren't friends. And why would I do this to her and blah, 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 blah. And then she was, I guess she finalized, if I don't come back, then we ain't friends. And I said, oh, okay.
That's so
well,
trash.
That shows me your true colors,
Yeah.
Somebody that I, spent my hard, not hard earned money, but I did go over her house, bring stuff, but I just spent time investing in that relationship. Yeah. And that hurt me to my core. It hurt me really bad to the point where I literally cried so much over that because I felt abandoned. That was one of the people I thought would for sure have my back and uplift me in prayer, even though I committed this horrible act. And it was, but I'm just like, you're supposed to be there for people when they do things. You're not,
when they're
first
down.
Of all, like
not kick them when they're down.
Don't kick me when I'm down. And so that's exactly what her and her husband did. And so to this day, like last year, she reached out and said, happy birthday, send me a text. And then I blocked her. But I responded. I was respectful. But then I was like, blocked her. And that really hurt me. And it took me a long time to forgive them, like truly forgive them. I was just like, God, you got to help me, because it was to the point where if I saw their face in my head, I would get angry all over again. And it was getting to the point of bitterness, and it really became a prayer topic for me, because this thing happened 7 years ago. Yeah. Now, and it is no longer that, it is no longer a prayer topic. I'm over it. I've been healed, been delivered. But for, I would say about 4 good years, that was in my heart. And I was just so hurt by that. Like, I literally considered y'all like family, for me to get kicked out. And it was for nothing. Like, it didn't have nothing to do with y'all, but because I committed a sin, as if it's like, it reminds me of that.
As if all people don't sin and fall short of the glory.
Like,
that's crazy.
Like,
to
it
me.
reminds me of those guys, like the people in the Bible who were casting, like God, Jesus said, you without sin cast the first stone. And like,
nobody could, because everybody has a sinful nature. Yeah.
And I'm just like, how dare you? Like, but it just shows me the type of people
Trash.
they were following the leader. And like I said, that's another story for another day, but it really hurt me to my core. And they weren't the only ones. Other people did that from the same church. It was like when I left, all communication stopped. And that's just because of the headship they were under.
Yeah.
Those were the instructions, you know. Those were the type of people that they were. And so thank the Lord, everybody wasn't like that. And I still keep in, communication with a few of them, a few good ones. But for the majority, like the people I spent 8-9 years getting to know, building relationships with, becoming a family. Yes. So I thought, just deserted me in a time I needed them the most. And some of them themselves ended up backsliding. It was just like, oh, how the tables turn.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's my friendship.
So I think when we say trash, like we don't even want to say like, oh, like I guess like their character or them as people are trash. Just their friendship, like
they didn't know how to be friends.
No, not at all.
Friends.
Not like true friends. So that's what made it trash. Like, and trash is just what it is. You discard it, like no use, nothing, right? Like there are some friendships that you may have to end, but like you can be honest and say, you know what? We may not be friends, but that uplifted me in that season. That built me up. These are friendships that trash. Like you depleted me, if anything. You took away from me, if anything. Mm-hmm. So it's not even like trying to attack people or come for their character. No. It's just you don't really understand what true friendship is.
In the time I needed someone the most, you were not
not there. Or you didn't even like open your eyes to see
my side.
That I needed you.
Yes.
Right? It's crazy.
Where is the grace? Where is the mercy? Where is the forgiveness? Where is the... like everything that Jesus calls us to be.
Well, I mean, but
I'm going to pray for you.
Yeah.
But I don't hear it from you for years.
Yeah.
You just pray and not say anything, no communication, just everything stops.
But again, this would be different if these were like associates, right? Because you can say that easily to someone, oh, I pray for you.
These were people that I considered sisters.
Yeah. Just
all communication goes out the window because I committed the unpardonable sin in their eyes. Like, what? As if they didn't sin hours before.
That's people for you.
Golly, man.
I mean, and that's the thing, like nobody is perfect and we are all human. But there's just some things that you got to wake up and pay attention.
Yeah.
Especially because people do throw that word around. Mm-hmm. Friend. No, what is a friend? Mm-hmm. It's not when it's convenient for you, or like only you're there to get uplifted, or when you're down, I'm the only one that can encourage you. But what about, both ends of the spectrum? When I'm down, be there for me and vice versa.
Yeah.
So let's see.
Relationships? Or
we still
no, you got to do that one friendship with the brother.
Well, this was before the brother.
Trash.
Yeah, like super trash. And I think I accepted this person as a friend because I really didn't have no friends. Mm-hmm. And now we're talking about, now I'm a young adult, like 20, 21, 22 maybe ish. And I had a friend. Mm-hmm. We worked together. That's how it started. But anyway, this person's attitude, and I knew it. This person's attitude was horrible.
Yeah.
Like, I am not like this super jolly person all the time. So I'm not going to act like I am. Mm-hmm. But when I tell you, this person was always grumpy. Like, yeah, we cackled and laughed and stuff, but for the most part, rude.
Wow.
Nasty. To me, sometimes, but not to the point where I'm going to just let you be nasty and rude to me because I'm going to check you, right? But it was just like not underlining, but very like done in a way, you know, like trying to be snarky, trying to be funny. But like to other people, like when we were at work, to people who come in, to customers, to people who work with us. I'm talking about like slamming stuff down, rolling eyes, sucking teeth. Nasty.
Yeah.
And for maybe a few years, I really was like, this is my best friend.
Yeah.
And that because they called me their best friend. But I'm talking about just somebody who is just like, ugh. Like, for real. I'm not even being funny. Like, ugh. Mm-hmm. Like, no wonder you ain't got no man. Ugh. Like, we had a specific guy who worked with us. Great guy. Legit great guy. I literally still talk to this guy to this day because he is cool. Liked her so much. I don't know why, but would go out of his way. I'm talking about lunch, all these things. Ungrateful.
Yeah.
Slick comments. Like, I was just like, oh, you crazy. What's the word? Expectations real high. Too high.
Yeah.
Right? Like, and I just literally like associated myself with her. Like I said, now did the cons outweigh the, what'd you say? Did the bad outweigh the good?
Pros outweigh the cons.
No, it did not. The cons outweighed the pros. But like I said, hey, it was convenient. We worked together. You was cool. I ain't really talking to nobody else. Now at the time I was married, right? So it was either her or him. So, and she was single. But just nasty.
Yeah.
Right? Like, ugh. But I had dealt with it. I endured it.
Girl, no.
And then it got to a point where she moved. Some time, we had a little bit of time in between. So, okay, whatever. Hey girl, whatever. She lived, in Northern Virginia. And she was like, oh, come up here, come stay for the weekend. She stayed with her mom. Her brother stayed there too, but it was this really big, grand house or whatever, and they had room. So I went up there one weekend. I don't know how it happened, but me and her brother started talking, like just like regular, like talking, right? You just vibe with somebody and you just start talking to him.
Yeah.
Right? But I already knew him. It wasn't like this was my first time meeting him. This was just, it was just different this time. So we all hanging out. We go out to eat or whatever. And then, mind you, like, it's not like, oh, I'm leaving my friend to go be with her. But no, it was like lights out, good night, whatever. And then I think he wanted to walk, or he asked me, did I want to go walk? And that's literally what we did. It was kind of raining, whatever. And we were walking, but then we like stayed up for hours. I mean, everybody know what that's like. Up all night, talking, walking. Neighborhood, it was like 6 a.m.
Just you and him.
Just me and him. So that ended up happening. She didn't really say anything about it until I guess I left. Right? Well, no, let me backtrack. She started to treat me differently. Like silent treatment, very blunt. Like, you ask a question, it's like straight to the point, kind of snarky, kind of snappy. Now, mind you, before this, like I said, at work, this was this person's character. Like moody, like really moody, like anything could, like a light switch. Yeah. Like quiet, don't want to talk. Like everyone in the office, like, what's wrong with her? She okay? You all right? Like, I don't like being around people like that because you got to walk on eggshells around them because you don't know what you're going to get today. So like that kind. And it did affect our quote unquote friendship because mind you, I'm laughing with you, but 5 minutes later, you treating me funny. You talk like kind of like talking to me in a kind of way or slamming stuff down like in front of me. Like, and in my brain, I'm like, is it me? Did I do something? I'm talking about for months. This is just how this person was.
Fake.
Pretty much. So, okay, boom, fast forward. So she didn't say anything. She just treated me cold shoulder till I had to leave, right? So I ended up leaving, coming back to where I am. So we were probably like 3 hours away from each other. So then I guess I started involving myself with him because he wanted to, whatever. Again, it was nothing serious. He would come down. We spent time together. Blah, 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 blah. No, that didn't really go nowhere. So I think I end up telling her because I don't know what happened, but I end up talking to her. He did something. I can't even remember exactly what it was, but But he did something, and then I went to her about it. I won't crying or nothing. I was upset because I was like, hey, what's wrong with your brother, blah, blah. And she flipped the switch pretty much like, well, I already, because she said something when I was up there, because I think she said something the next day, which is like, probably something slick, but just like, all she said was, I'm going to tell you now, that's my brother. So she didn't have to say a whole lot because I know what that means. Like at the end of the day, you're going to ride for your brother regardless, right? So it was kind of like in that context. But I had told her, I was like, it ain't even that deep. Like we're not, whatever. So fast forward when I was like, yeah, no, we're not talking. And I was like, what's wrong with him? Whatever. She was just like, I already told you. That's blood at the end of the day. Like bucking. I was like, whoa, pause. First of all, we're not even together.
Exactly.
But yeah, it was just like, just tripping, right? And that made me step back and say, you know what? I don't deserve this. You're not even a good friend, bro.
Yeah.
Like, and then a situation that you really don't know anything about, really, like the truth, right? Because I'm pretty sure he said whatever, and then I went to her, just trying to involve her. The switch, it just flipped completely. So I was like, you know what? I don't even think I said anything. I literally just like backed all the way up. And I know it's probably wrong of me, but I'm talking about like I ain't texting back. No, I'm not picking up the phone.
No, that's not wrong.
No, I don't want to hang out with you. You coming. It was always, I remember it was always, oh, I'm coming to Virginia Beach.
Bye.
I never said nothing.
I'm busy.
Because I was just like, you're not even worth a conversation. Like, you're not even worth a conversation. That's really sucky on my end, I know. But I'm just like...
No, it's not.
I felt like it was. 'Cause I was like...
Somebody with a trash personality?
Yeah.
You rude, disrespectful. I'm good. At the end of the day, it's your brother and you good.
Yeah, exactly. So I'm just like, oh, no, you said... family.
You in Virginia Beach, have a good time.
So that's what you stick with, right? So I don't know. And it was, I really, to be honest, I don't know what the situation was. It was something crappy because maybe my mom died in 2017. It's so crazy when you go through stuff and everybody want to come out the woodwork like, oh, I'm sorry, blah, blah, blah. Because I've had that too. I got another one I got. This is gonna be a long episode, but anyway. So the reason why I know it was crappy, because when my mom died, then I got a phone call from her apologizing, telling me that he was so sorry. It was, I cannot even tell you what it was, but was like, she apologized for her brother. Brother has still to this day never called me to apologize. I think it was something like he lied on me, something like that. Anyway, but yeah, that's great. I had been washing my hands of both of them. Yeah, I had been washing my hands of both of them, but you know, my mom died, so everybody that do you wrong for some reason, they just want to come around and whatever. And if they need to get their guilt straight or whatever, that's on them. But yeah, that to me, very much so trash. That your attitude was so nasty.
Yikes.
That it didn't even make me want to figure out how to work through it. Yeah. I'm telling you. Oh, no. I said, oh, I'm good. I said, oh, no. Because you actually came around that time.
Yeah, I know.
And I know.
I remember her. She came to your birthday party.
And I know.
I didn't say nothing to her.
And I'm not being funny. I invited out of just feeling bad.
I didn't say nothing to her. I don't even think you introduced us. Or you did,
because
but I
for
could
real,
tell
there was
when
nothing,
she was there. She was sitting by herself.
There was nothing to introduce. Right. But anyway.
Yikes.
But yeah, it was just, ugh. But yeah. Yeah. I'm going to let you go because I can keep going. I'm so bitty.
Well, I don't have a lot of times where I've had, other than that I already talked about. I guess it would be another one where somebody intentionally befriended me for their personal gain and ended up ruining my life almost because they were hurt and in pain and they were suffering and they were going through a horrible season of life. they befriended me with the intention of bringing me down with them. And I say this with it like it being factual because they actually told me I chose you. I could have chosen anyone, but I chose you.
That's
as if I should be grateful for the hell and turmoil you put me through.
That's creepy.
Yeah. So those are just the two, but pretty much my whole life I've had pretty great friends.
Well, that's good for you.
Yeah. You know, what can I
My
say?
great friends really are right now.
Yeah.
Like, shout out to y'all. Like, I didn't experience like great friendships until 30. Like, well,
okay.
20s, late 20s,
late 20s.
30. Yeah, no.
Well, mid-20s because you came to the church in 18.
Yeah.
So you're what, 25, mid-20s. Yeah.
So, yeah, late 20s, that's when I experienced real friends. But anyway. Well, I mean, let me not say that. I got a few oldies but goodies, but like I'm talking about like.
Come for you.
Yeah. But I'm talking about like consistent friendships. Like that started in 2018. So relationships. You want to go first?
Wow. Trash relationships. I don't have a lot of these either, you know.
Well, that's good.
I pick them well. Well, I did have one when I was in the military. The guy that I dated after the guy left my Virginia too, this is the next one after him. And he literally, the way we met, I was driving with this horrible, that was one girl who tried to befriend me. I was driving with this girl in the military, and we stopped at a 7-Eleven. I went inside to go get a Slurpee. I offered to get her one. She said, no, I'm going to stay in the car. Literally, when I came out, caught her stealing my change out of my coin holder. The ashtray, I would keep it full of coins. Caught her stealing it, putting it in her purse. I said, what are you doing? She was like, oh, nothing. Last time, I promise you, she got in my car. First of all, how are you going to try and steal the whole ashtray full of coins and not think I was going to notice all that change jiggling in your purse? Are you retarded? And so I was riding. This is before that happened. That was another trash associate friendship. I was riding in the car with her.
The thievery.
Look, I was riding in the car with her when I was in the military outside of the base, and these two guys pulled up on the side of us. It was like, hey, what's your name? Can we get your number? And then so the one that was driving was the one that was interested in her, and then the passenger was the one that was interested in me.
Screw it.
And so we ended up pulling over, giving them our numbers, and like a week later, we started dating them. Went to their house, yada yada yada. I had the whole one night stand experience. I think that was the same week. It might have been. I don't know. I was living wild life back then. It might have been the same week or the next week. But we ended up dating them. Well, at least I know I ended up dating my guy. We became boyfriend and girlfriend. I don't know about her. After that whole car situation, I was done with her. But I was dating him for a good while. He ended up actually being in the military as well, I found out. And it was good up until I would say a couple months later. It was raining one day and he smoked weed. And I don't know how he was that bold to do that while being in the military, but he said he just took niacin. I think apparently niacin gets it out of your system. But he smoked weed when we were in the military. And one night it was raining so bad, it was like thunderstorming. And he took me into the projects on a weed run. And it was really scary. Like, we were in the hood. It was dark. And he left me in the car in the rain. And that was a traumatic experience because I didn't know what to expect.
Yeah,
I
if
knew
you ain't never been in a hood, then
we were in a dangerous neighborhood. People were outside. And I was just like, man, anything could happen. I might have even said a prayer. Might have even said a prayer at that point.
That girl was scared.
I was. But after that, I just looked at him different. I'm like, why is he smoking weed while we're in the military? And I'm like, First of all, I could get a contact, and then what if that show up in my system and I get kicked out or demoted, go into captain's mask because of it? I don't know the effects of this stuff. Never smoked it, so I was just like,
he didn't care about you pretty much.
And so I was just like, okay, and that was one thing. And then one night we were out on a date. We went to go to dinner and a movie. And when we were at the movies, he just picked a random argument with me and just started arguing with me. And then was trying to drive my car and was trying to drive all fast and crazy. I was like, no. And so I ended up driving. And he was in the shipyards in Newport News at this time. So I dropped him off. And we were arguing the whole way. And then dropped him off to the shipyards because his ship had just gone on deployment, so they were, docked in the shipyard trying to get the ship repaired and everything before they put them out again. And so I dropped him off, and that was the end of that. Like, I ended everything because he had some. It was the weed smoking for me. Oh, that's what it was. So a few months after we started dating, or we were a few months in, my mom paid me a visit. Sorry, I'm all over the place. I'm trying to remember it, though. This is like 2010 or 9 or something. My mom paid me a visit and said, why haven't you been going to church? I was like, man, I'm not trying to go to church. I'm trying to live my best life. But that was what I was thinking. But I was just like, I don't know. I haven't found one. And so she was like, okay, well, I'm going to look for you some churches. And she found 3 of them. And we called. 2 of them gave us the start time, so one of them didn't answer. So out of the 2, we chose my former church and then another one, because I ended up going with my former church because their start time was later. And that was a big joke for a while. But I had told him that I wanted to start going to church, and he didn't like that. And so when we were out on the date, we got in a big argument because of it. I remember now. And he was trying to drive my car all crazy. I was like, pull over. And I got in control of my car, dropped him off, and I ended it. But I didn't like the fact he smoked weed in the military, and he didn't like the fact that I wanted to start going to church again. So that's what ended it. But it was just really trash.
Yeah, that's why.
It was no compromising with him. So I was just like, okay, whatever.
He was a control.
Because at first he said he was going to go with me, and then was just like, nah, I'm good. And so I was like, well, I'm trying to get my act together. So I guess this ain't going to work out. But that was one relationship. And then I wouldn't say it's a relationship, just a guy I was dating before my fiance. Hey, Cody, love you. But the guy that I was dating or talking to before. All right.
Sorry.
All right.
It was a perfect moment. Sorry.
The guy that I was talking to before him was very weird. Very weird. He had, like, he made money. He had some good money that was coming in. But that can't be the only thing. And so he was very controlling as well. Little manipulation in there. And there was several times that he almost like, those people that, I don't know if it's like you're self conscious, or what's the people that have low self-esteem
and insecurity.
Yes, and insecurity. Very insecure. And so he pretty much tried to win me over by giving me money and trying to prove to me how much I needed to be with him. Like, he would tell me that he's the one for me, and like pretty much try to explain why he's so good for me. And it was just throwing me off, like to the point where we would be out on dates and he would just be trying to plead his case the entire time about why I should be with him. And I told him it was just too much, but I told him from the beginning that I just wanted to be friends starting off, because I wasn't used to being with a guy like him. And so I wanted to give it a try as friends first, and then try and work into something, see if something could come of it. But he was just trying to force a relationship down my throat so bad. Like, I just couldn't take it. It was to the point where it was kind of obsessive and kind of controlling, and it was just a little over the top. It was becoming too much for me. Like, just always, every time we go out, you're trying to prove why you're so good for me, and why we need to be together, and why nobody's going to treat me like you do. Like, it was just weird. I had never been with anybody like that.
Wow. Yeah,
and
that's
so
creepy.
I was just like, that's more like creepy, other than like not so much trash.
Yeah,
but it's creepy, and that's the one I call the stalker.
Yeah.
And so, but those are the only two. Everyone else has been really sweet, really kind, gentle. I don't have a lot of bad relationships. Mm-hmm. But yeah, he was a weirdo. I blocked him on everything. I couldn't. And then tried to add me again after I deleted him. I was like on a different profile. I was like, oh no, 911.
911 help.
Cause what? First of all, yeah, never mind. I ain't going.
Yeah.
Probably listening.
Better days ahead.
Yes.
So.
What's your trash relationship?
Let's count. Nah. There was one in particular. I would say like the end of high school, because he was my date for prom. But anyway, we grew up together. Okay. He just ended up being my date to prom too. But we liked each other a lot. It wasn't even like superficial, but this is who I was with, and there were no questions because I'm not talking to nobody else, right? And people knew that. But it really started to become trash when a few things. I will never forget this. And this is like one of those things that like I'm gonna talk to my kids about, my daughters about, because it was just so sad. So during this whole time of talking to him, dating him, whatever, prom, like I really didn't see any of this. And maybe I did, but maybe I didn't pay attention. So obviously like all these months go by, everything's good. We get into like the summertime, and I think it was like 4th of July. Well, yeah, because school's over, right? 4th of July. And everyone's at his house. He has a really nice house. So like everybody came over, my parents, the church, everybody. We have like this big old cookout, and we slip off, young folks do. Yeah. And we slip off, and there was like this park, like smack dab in the middle of the neighborhood, which is very weird because parks are usually not like that. I'm talking about like you walk out your front door, the park is right there. So it was really weird, but we ended up like leaving the house, sneaking away, and we went to the park, and we were just hugged up, doing some stuff we weren't supposed to be doing as kids, teenagers or whatever. But it got to the point where we were kissing, and he started to like kind of like not push me, but like, well, I guess like push me down like toward the table, like literally like a picnic table outside. You know how you grill table. And I was like, no.
You want to have sex on table?
Yeah. And
in the daylight?
No, it was dark. Okay. But it was like I said, if I'm sitting in this park or laying on the table or whatever on a swing, somebody's front door was right there. So that's number one. Like, what are you doing? Yeah. Number two, like he kept trying. I was like, come on. And I was like, no. And then my saving grace is we're outside. Like somebody's front door is right there. I was like, your house is right there too. What are you doing? Like, and I just wasn't budging, obviously. And I will never forget, like, he got so angry. And he, like, walked away. And it was kind of dark. And I was like, where are you going? Like, this is not my neighborhood. I don't know really, like, exactly where I am. And he was just walking away, like, ignoring me. And he turns around and he says, when you're ready to become a real woman, then come holler at me.
I know you lying.
I was like, what?
I know you lying.
I'm talking about, first of all, this is somebody I grew up with, so I've known you for a really long time. Like, it's not just some play. Like, like this was kind of like family. You know how you just grow up together and then like, oh, you end up like each other. I took you to my prom. Like, I really thought something was happening here. Your parents are best friends with my parents. Like, it was one of those things. And I felt so, first of all, you trying to lay me on the table outside.
Disrespectful.
That's disrespectful. But not only that, you see that I'm not comfortable. Because I think, I was a virgin around that time. So obviously it wasn't something, and I'm not even gonna lie. I was like, can we go in the house? Like, if what, so for real, I'm not being funny. I wasn't even saying no. I was just like, I had
not here.
I had something in me to be like, boy, I'm not about to do this out. I mean,
but I'm worth more than
yeah,
this.
like I still had enough in me to be like, can we go in your room?
Yeah, like what?
I mean, yes, the house was full of everybody, but like, I don't know. I was just like, why here? Like, no. So yeah, he said that to me. So then, keep months, days. Do I still talk to him? Of course I do. But I realized something switched because, like we would talk on the phone all the time, and he was still like acting like he was interested in it. Maybe he did apologize for that. I don't remember. But what I do remember is he would be around all his friends and stuff like that. And he had a specific friend. I'll never forget this guy. He would be like, oh, I got somebody to talk to you. Like trying to pawn me off on his friends. And I was like, that's so weird. I would be like, for real, I would be sad. I would be like, why are you doing that? Like, I want you. Like, I don't understand. Mm-hmm. Like, he laughing and all this stuff. And I'll never forget, his friend got on the phone. He was like, hey, yo, why are you talking to him?
Yeah.
He was like, you are so fine. Like, girl, he literally was like, I really want to talk to you so bad. He was like, but he's my friend. Like, he literally would, every time I would call him, he would be like, he said the guy's name, he's here, you want to talk to him? I would be like, no, I don't want to talk to your friend. I want to talk to you. Like, why are you doing that? And every time his friend would get on the phone, be like, how were you today? How was your day? Like, it was the weirdest thing ever, to the point where, I don't know if people remember, do you remember Uvu?
Mm-hmm.
I got pictures on my Facebook today where me and his friend would Uvu.
Wow.
And we would just talk. That's it. Like, his friend
Why you didn't get with his friend?
Well, because...
Girl, he wasn't trying to give you the
because I can't... Ain't that crazy?
In time.
I still cared about his feelings.
Girl, no.
Literally was friend. Just like... And his friend was cute. I'm not even gonna lie, his friend was cuter than him. But I was just like...
Like, what?
I was trying to be, You
trying to pawn me off?
He literally was like... Oh, so-and-so is here. Literally would hand this boy the phone.
And then if you would have been like, okay, he would have been toe up.
And I never did.
Girl,
but the friend literally always was like, it was to the point where the friend had my number and would text me.
Well,
hey, how you doing? Good morning.
Me and friend would have been together.
You doing okay? And I just never did. And I think just like out of respect, but that was super trash. Because I definitely deserve more than that. He just wanted to be young and dumb and a hornball. And I'm glad I didn't do that with him. Never did. But I felt like that was really sucky because aside from the fact that I liked you and you quote unquote, liked me, I thought we were family more than anything, right? Like, even if we were not going to be, it was to the point that my sister was dating his brother and he was kind of best friends with my brother and his parents was best friends with my parents. So it was like, we're in this kind of like, for life thing. Like, so even if we didn't work out, like at the very least, you were not one of the guys that I would think would treat me like that. So that was really trash. The way that happened. And fast forward, I don't think my mom was still alive. So when I started dating my ex-husband, oh God, the DMs were crazy. I'm sorry. I really wish I would have treated you. I'm talking about like, I don't have them, but like if you go on like Messenger till this day,
I bet
they are all still there.
I bet.
And he was just like, I am so sorry. I wish I would have treated you better. Like just all these things, right? And I think one of the biggest things I remember saying to him was, next time you have something, don't let it go. And that's literally what I said.
Sheesh. Because why now? I mean, because clearly you see I'm in a relationship, but it's just like,
you had the space and opportunity. And the crazy thing was, I was so going off him. Crazy. But yeah, that was super trash. Because I'm like,
very trash.
Out of all the years I've known you, what place I thought I held in your life and you held in mine, that you would never stoop to that level to disrespect me. But, you know, young and dumb. But yeah, that was super trash. I'm not even gonna go into my ex-husband because that's like a garbage load full of trash. But that we could save for another day. But yeah, man,
that was good.
So many. It's still so many. But it's okay. I feel like though we've gone through these things and we've put up with these things, you know. And maybe to someone else, let's be honest, we probably was trash. You know, we just never know. I mean, let's be honest. Nobody's perfect. But, I mean, I know the trash friendships and the trash relationships that I have put up with and that I have endured that I know I didn't deserve, right? I'm not even going to even say, like, oh, maybe I was trash. Because for me, and I can only speak for me, I am not a perfect person, but I am a very intentional person. And I have always been intentional. What do they say, to the detriment? Yeah. So I can't even say that people say I was trash because my level of loyalty has been like way too high.
Very high.
So I can't even say that I've been trash. I'm too loyal, you know, but it's okay. Like, you live and you learn, but it's like at this age, at this season, look at me wrong. Have a good day. Have a great day, because when you go through life is too short to be dealing with people's bull crap. Right?
Yeah.
Man, woman, cat, dog, it don't matter. No. A lot of I actually posted it the other day. No love lost, but a lot of lessons learned.
A lot of lessons learned
of what true friendship is. What it looks like, what love is,
what you will take and what you will not take.
Yeah, no, we're done with that.
What you are worth and what you are not worth.
Nope. Yeah. I won't say that I won't give people grace, because I will. But I think right now, the way that I operate, I'm not going to say I'm not forgiving. I'm not going to say I don't have grace, but I am at a point where you do have maybe one or two times to do the same thing. It's just going to be a different level as to how I respond. Or I would say, like, I want to say it's in the right way, because now this is for the current people. Because of what I've been through. I'm not even going to say if you cross me, or I'm not even going to go that deep. But if there's just something that's just off, right? And then, like, you continue to do these things, warranted or not warranted, I feel like I respond differently. And I think it's just so I can pay attention and not, like, let my guard down, you know? Am I making sense with what I'm saying? Like, you do something or you say something, or we may get it right and then you do it again. I forgive you. Yeah. But I'm not crazy enough to be vulnerable again. To get hurt over and over and over. Like, I'm not doing that no more, you know. And some people, I know there's some people, like, even right now currently in my life, that's like, oh, what's wrong with her? Nothing's wrong. I don't gotta put up with it.
What they say? Fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice,
shame on
me.
And that's literally how I am now, you know. And I get it. Like, some people, you're right, you're good, I'm fine. May not want to talk to you as much no more. Because
let me slowly back up.
Yeah. Yes. And at the end of the day, I think there's nothing wrong with that, because you have to protect yourself. You have to protect your heart, right? You still show love. You still, like, love people, pray for them.
Your mental
but
health.
Yes, and I think that's what I mean. Like, me doing that is for my mental health. And I'm at a point in my life where I really don't care if someone doesn't understand. Right?
Yeah.
Because especially if it's something that I've stressed, had a disagreement, and we talked about, or we try to work through, whatever. and you still doing it, okay, I love you still. But there's just a certain level now that or a certain capacity of me you're only going to get, because I really don't have time.
Yeah.
And I just feel like everybody has their mechanisms as to how they handle and get through things. Even like some of the stuff that me and you deal with, like sometimes you have to approach it differently.
Yeah.
So you can be all right, you know. I'm not saying like I am not talking about you, and you know you really don't fit in that category.
I sure don't.
You don't fit in that category.
This 7 years of friendship.
No,
ain't going nowhere,
but like other people,
we gonna work this out.
Facts. But I'm saying, but there are other people that I'm just like, I'm good on that.
Yeah.
Because I used to do that. I used to cry and beg and, yeah, I'm good. I ain't got to do all that to be your friend. That's too much. Or for you to be my quote unquote family. I don't have to do all that.
Yeah.
It's too much. But I will say, let the past be the past. Let the trash be the trash.
Hey.
Because I really don't have anybody in my life that give off that. And at the very sign that you do or they do, I have no problem discarding them as such.
Yeah.
Nah, we good. We're good. Like, I just, nah.
Bye.
Yep.
It's just a
All
little
right, don't be
too
singing.
late. Okay.
Nah, but for real, that's, we can go on and on about this. But yeah, you learn a lot.
Great topic.
You learn a lot. Yeah, that's great because I feel like you have to filter through those people to get to the real people that God has destined for you. And I'm so happy because I know I'm not even gonna say I feel like I know the people that I have in my life right now are my people, and they are my divine destiny, friends and family, you know. And I'm super grateful that I've endured all that, friendship wise, because God has truly blessed me with you. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, for real. If I had to filter through all them best friends to get here, I'm happy. You're annoying, you know. And all the other, you know, friendships and guys that I had to filter through. Shut up.
Okay.
All the other guys and stuff that I had to filter through to get to that man that God has for me.
Yeah, amen.
It is what it is.
Yes.
'Cause he on the way, y'all.
Yes. Yes. All right. Yes. Great conversation. Anything else?
Oh, no, I'm good.
All right, guys. So that concludes season 3, episode 3, Trash Relationships. You know where to find us. You can find us on Spotify, YouTube, Apple Podcasts. And yeah, it's Brittany and Michaela with We Got Something to Say.
Always.